everyone, so today I wanted to do a video about adopting cats, or the adoption of our cat. We got her back in January this year before we knew everything that was gonna happen, so I'll show her to you here. She's a bit like, not this again. She's almost 3 years old and we adopted her in January this year. She was sleeping, so she's still a bit sleepy right here, but yeah, this is Mimi. Yeah, Mimi. But yeah, I wanted to talk to you about the whole process and everything, just in case it helps anyone. We started looking for cats, or started the process a couple months actually before we got her. We first went to the Battersea Cats and Dogs, or Dogs and Cats home, whatever it's called. And actually, because we have a flat, we don't have like a house with a garden and stuff like that, they were quite restrictive, and they said we could only get a cat that was 12 or older. And actually we went there and had the whole like interview thing, and then they actually only had one cat that day that was 16 but had like a lot of health issues. And obviously not this year because everything that's happened, but usually we both work outside of our house, outside of the flat, and that's like about 10 or so hours that we're both away. So we couldn't really get a cat that had a lot of health issues because we wouldn't be able to take care of him. And because it's a huge place, they basically don't call you if they have one for you. You just have to check the website. They were quite strict with the 12-year-old thing. Like we would find some on the website that were like 10 or 11, and we would call them up and they'd be like, no, it has to be 12 or older. And obviously because there's a lot of people trying to get a cat or a dog, but especially a cat that we were looking at from that place, then they go quite quickly on the website, which is a bit crazy. But yeah, we just found that we were not able to get a cat from there, so we decided to look a bit closer to where we live, smaller organization that would hopefully have less people trying to get cats. We basically emailed them, and at that point they didn't have any for us, but they said maybe in a couple of weeks they might have one. So we waited to hear back from them, and they actually had our cat Mimi, who originally was called Mittens, but we changed her name to Mimi because it's a lot cuter. They emailed us and they shared a bit more about her and shared a picture with her. We were like, oh yeah, we're interested. What's the next step? So they told us that she was staying with one of the organizations, like ladies, one of the ladies that works there. She was taking care of her in the recovery from her like operations and stuff. So you haven't been able to see in that little clip of me showing her, but she had most of her tail amputated, so she only has like a little bit of her tail left, and she was recovering from that quite well. But yeah, she was recovering in this lady's house, so we went to meet her and it was great. We loved her right from the start. She's adorable, so yeah, we loved meeting her. I got to pick her up and stuff, and she was, you know, quite happy and not scared, and that's sort of one of the things that they're trying to see in that sort of first meeting instance, I guess, that the cat's not scared of you or anything like that, because, you know, if she was scared of me, then they wouldn't want to give her to us. She was quite relaxed about the whole thing. She was just doing her thing and all that stuff, coming to smell us. The lady talked to us through like her whole situation, everything that happened to her. They were trying to make sure that she went to the right family or couple or person or whatever it is, because, you know, it's a whole story about previously she was given to someone else that wasn't great and all that stuff. So they wanted to make sure completely, and yeah, share the whole story with us, because everything that happened to her, she had to be like an indoor cat. So that was great for us because, you know, we live in a flat and she couldn't have any other pets in the house, or that was the preference, which in our case, you know, we don't have any other animals, so that's great. She's estimated, or at that time she was estimated around 2 years old. They don't exactly know when she was born, but, you know, estimated. So she's about almost 3 now, which is, you know, so much younger than what Battersea would have said. And, you know, we spoke to these ladies about that, and they were like, that's crazy. Like, a cat doesn't need to be outdoors if it's not used to the outdoors. If, you know, it's a cat that's always been outdoors and loves it, then great, you need outdoors. But otherwise, you know, there's loads of cats that live in houses with gardens and they barely go out because they don't like it, so they don't need a garden. So yeah, there were the whole rule about Battersea and the 12-year-old thing. They didn't agree with it, which I didn't either. So that was like nice. Like, it was a nice experience, and they were like nice people that we were dealing with, so we really liked that. We told them about like our flat and all that stuff, obviously because it's like a higher flat. So they wanted to make sure that, you know, the windows are secure and all that stuff. And luckily for us, our windows sort of open normally, but also you can open them like that. So this is like the top, that it's kind of close to the ceiling, you know, quite good because she can't really jump out when we open it like that. So then after that, a week later or something like that, the other lady came to our flat to see it and all that stuff, because obviously they want to make sure that it's like a nice environment, that you don't have like 3 other pets that you haven't told them about, or like it's not a mess of a house or whatever it is. They want to make sure that, you know, it looks like you're saying that it is, basically. And yeah, we talked to her and she quite liked us as well. So then she said that, you know, it'd be fine, like we can adopt her. And we paid the fee. So they had like, it was about 80-90 pounds, something like that, which basically covers all the work they do. So they can continue doing the work they do, which is, you know, completely fine. We got her a week later or so. So we went to this lady's house again. It was before we actually got our car. So we took an Uber there. And then had to get an Uber back. The lady gave us a couple of the toys that she was playing with at the time. One of them is a laser that we still have, and we play with her with it all the time, and she loves it. And then she also gave us this little bird thing. It's a bird that basically with movement, it makes a sound, like a bird sound. And we took that back on the Uber. The driver thought we were crazy because we obviously had, it was like a 10-15 minute ride. And the whole ride, I'm not even exaggerating, the whole time, Mimi was meowing and trying to like escape from the little carrier. And then the bird thing kept going off the whole ride. So I remember saying to the Uber, like, oh, I'm sorry, we just got a cat and this is a toy that's making sound. And the driver did not say anything. I thought, you know, he was just like, okay, these people are crazy, just drop him off and that's it. I think my biggest advice when you get an adopted cat, or you just bring a cat home for the first time, is to have everything in the one room for them. So for us, we picked the spare room that we have. So we had the bed there, her food, and the litter tray or litter box that we have away from those two, because obviously they don't like it when they're close together. And we closed the door, so then we opened the carrier, she came out and she started to like look at everything, and it was quite good because she came out of the thing straight away and started jumping on the sofa and like looking at everything. So then the next step is to open the door a little bit, so then if they want to look outside they can, but you're not forcing them to do anything, or like you're not forcing them out of that safe room. So she went in to like look outside, but I don't think she liked it. She got a bit scared, and then she started going under the sofa bed, which was a bit sad because, you know, she was doing so well, and then she got a bit scared and then she didn't want to come out. So she was there for like a couple hours, and we just left her. We said, you know, if she feels safe there, and that's fine, and she'll come out. But she wasn't coming out, so we went back, and, you know, with treats and stuff she would come out, but then she'll go back in. And she did that for about 2 days, I think. And after that she was fine. She would go under the sofa bed on her own, and then if we were like playing with her, then she'll come out. But then once we were done, she would like go back inside or like go back under. And yeah, but after that she was completely fine. So I think it was actually good to have that hiding spot for her, because she felt safe under that. So if you have like a little bit of a hiding spot under a bed or under a sofa, something like that, would be great for them to just hide. And then, you know, after that she was fine, so we just put the litter box where it usually goes, or like where it goes now, and showed it to her so she knows where it is. And yeah, that was completely fine, and we didn't really have any other issues after that. So another sort of tip, piece of advice sort of thing, is to keep her with the food that she was already having. So for example, yeah, both the dry and the wet we've kept. The wet we also buy like a different variation of the same brand, and she likes that quite, she likes that fine. She eats it perfectly. The litter for the litter box, we got a different one, and she didn't have any issues with that, so that was completely fine. We just got the one that we preferred, and she used it perfectly, didn't have any issues. And then just have a bunch of toys, especially if you have a flat. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you don't have a garden for them to run, but make sure they're able to run and play and stay motivated and, you know, moving around with what you have. So we have a bunch of toys. I think her favorite one is this one that we have. I'll put a video here of her playing. Basically has 3 balls, so she can just hit them, but it's now gone a bit like loose, so the ball actually comes out and then she chases it throughout the flat. So she loves that. And then literally just the little mouse thingies, she loves those. She picks them up, brings them up to our bed or the sofa, and then like starts killing them there, and she loves that as well. And then we bought her one of these like jungle thingies, like where she can go up to different levels. She doesn't really use that much. She's used it a couple times. She used it the other day actually to jump on top of the wardrobe in the other room. But yeah, she doesn't use it much, but you know, she's used it a couple times and it wasn't very expensive. It was from Amazon. Another piece of advice is if you buy your cat a bunch of toys and she or he is not using them, like for example Mimi, she gets bored of them, I think. So if she has them out all the time, she gets bored and doesn't use them. Like I'll find the same mouse on the floor for like 3 days in the exact same spot. So what I do is actually leave like 2 or 3 out and the rest I keep in a box. And then every couple weeks or so I swap them. So I take those back and put new ones out, and then it's like she discovers the new toys again and she starts playing with them. And I've done that with the beds as well. Like if she stops using one of her beds, yeah, we're like, okay, she really likes that bed but she's not using it, I move it to a different spot, and then eventually she starts using it again. So if you find that they're not using something, definitely try that. But I think that's it. I think that's basically the story, how we got her and all that stuff. So I hope you guys liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you have any questions about adopting cats or cats in general, leave it in the comments below and I could get back to you. And hopefully I will see you guys later with another video. Bye!